Well, I'm joined now by Magnus Jiborn, who is the head of research at the Global Challenges Foundation. Magnus, thank you so much for joining us on BBC World News. I mean, you know, promises and pledges can be made, but how difficult do you think it is to find consensus amongst the G7 and then moving forward with developing economies to try to tackle the climate change crisis?
Well, thank you for inviting me. Yes, it's finding consensus is always really difficult, but these countries have a couple of issues where they actually have a common agenda. For example, on climate, on the climate emergency, which will be on the agenda today, all the 7 countries in this group have expressed commitments to net zero by 2050 or earlier, and they also could also agree on more sharp measures to make this reality, because that is really needed to go from expressions of ambition to real policy measures.
And so there is the key thing here to understand, isn't it, Magnus, is the link between economic growth and the climate.
Yes, and that is really the huge challenge that the world is facing now. We need to transition the global economy to a net zero and sustainable patterns, but also keep development, not the least for the developing world that are still in dire need of economic development. So combining continued economic development with going to a huge transition, maybe the largest one that have been ever attempted on such a timescale, to an zero carbon economy. So it's a huge challenge, but these countries actually have given that they have a common agenda on this issue, they also have the means to make it reality. These countries together have an enormous economic power. Even if their share of the world economy is shrinking, they still have a huge impact on economy. So just to make one example, recently these countries also agreed to support the US proposal for global minimum corporate tax, which is a very concrete measure where this group has the power to push such a proposal forward. So these countries could also agree on minimum standards when it comes to climate action. For example, they could just as well agree on imposing a global minimum price on carbon. That I don't expect that to happen in today's talks, but today's talks could lead to more clear objectives and heading towards COP26. This group of countries could, if they want, spearhead a route to more stronger climate action.
Okay, Magnus, it's been really, really